Hello, this is Laura Sawyer, and my ethical dilemma is the difficult director. The review of the situation. This situation occurs in a small department in a local school board, which is led by Nancy. Nancy has just been promoted to director. However, her leadership style is lacking greatly. That her staff does not have confidence in her. She is arrogant, always right, misrepresents the truth, fails to give clear directions and performance expectations. She employs poor communication skills and practices, and is technically incompetent, although she's the director of a technology department. She does not develop the leaders below her because she fears losing her position. Now, as she was promoted, Juan was also promoted into her old role as manager. So Juan is now a new manager under Nancy, and he loves his job. It's his dream job. It's what he's been working towards. Now, this promotion has come with some difficulties. Nancy previously had the position, so she is very reluctant to release full responsibility over to Juan. He is required to do his management duties as well as assist Nancy in preparing reports and communication materials while constantly answering questions about what he's doing as manager, because she won't let that department go, that section go. Because the staff do not believe in her as the director, there are many issues. Overall, the staff is demoralized and beginning to show signs of burnout. Several top members of the staff are actively looking for other positions, both within the school district and outside the district altogether. As Covey stated, without trust, one cannot achieve primary greatness or lasting success, and that is where that department is. So the ethical issue is, how should this new leader, Juan, deal with a difficult director above him? Because Juan is the direct report to his director, his options are limited because he is not, because the person above him is difficult to work for. There's several ethical issues with this. One, the company loses time. According to one survey, 31% of employees complain about or listen to others complaining about their superiors for 20 or more hours each month. So they're losing all that time of productivity. The staff members suffer additional stress, and because of this perceived or real or just poor management style, unethical behaviors at work become more prevalent. So we have three solutions. Juan has three solutions. They are: one, to report the poor performing director to her supervisor; two, to resign the position altogether; and three, to accept the situation. For solution one, outcomes, likely impacts, and values. Outcomes for solution one of reporting to the senior director is, the senior director will become aware of the situation. This may result in a reprimand to the director, which could be reciprocated to the staff. This may also result in Juan being seen as a complainer or troublemaker to the senior executives. The senior director may not view the offenses as serious at all and completely ignore the report that he files. Likely impact of solution one. If Nancy is reprimanded, she will probably take it out on the staff, which will make the situation worse. However, if that results in her behavioral change in leadership, this repercussion may only be temporary, so it may be relieved in the long run. The senior director may appreciate Juan's report and view his boldness as proactive leadership. However, if the director views his report as complaining, this may result in Juan having a difficult time advancing his career. If the report is ignored, there will be no impact and the situation will continue as is. Values for solution one. Going above Nancy's head to report this behavior to her senior director violates the principle of fidelity. She would probably feel betrayed by her staff, particularly because she promoted Juan to that position. Nancy has a right to know, so that she has an opportunity to improve. This violates her right to know. If the report is given in confidence, then her confidentiality is upheld. Nancy also has a right to due process. This right may be violated depending on how the senior director responds. If Nancy retaliates against her staff, the staff's autonomy could be violated, as well as their right to due process. Finally, the right to safety for the staff may be in jeopardy as Nancy may inflict emotional harm to the staff. Solution 2, Juan may resign. If he resigns, let's see, we're looking at the outcomes, likely impacts, and values. Outcomes for resigning. Juan may have some relief because he has a new job. However, the other staff members may become more negative without Juan, and some of the staff may also leave. Nancy will have to hire a new manager. Likely impacts for Solution 2. If Juan resigns, his co-workers could have extra work until new staff is hired and trained. Juan will have to reestablish his seniority status at his new job, so he'll lose all his time. The morale in the department will most likely decrease as the staff will not have Juan to intervene for them. Nancy's behavior will not improve and may get worse as she will have additional work to fill Juan's position. Values to consider for Solution 2. Juan's autonomy is preserved if he resigns. He is a freely choosing individual and he may choose to work at another institution. The autonomy of the remaining staff will most likely be violated because Nancy will be supervising them while the position remains open. In addition, the staff's right to safety will not be upheld as Nancy may take out the extra work on them. Her right to know will be violated as she remains unaware of the impact of her actions. Finally, the principle of fidelity may be violated as Juan has not acted faithfully to his commitment as the newly appointed manager. Solution 3 is acceptance. The outcomes, likely impacts, and values. Outcomes for Solution 3. If Juan accepts the situation as is, Nancy's behavior will most likely stay the same. If Juan manages his staff with fidelity, their working situation may improve as Nancy is no longer their immediate supervisor. Since Nancy's behavior will stay the same, the staff may feel frustrated. Likely impact for Solution 3. The office morale may improve for the smaller unit that Juan manages. Juan's acceptance could result in the staff accepting the situation as well. Juan may also be seen as a company man by the senior directors, which could result in additional opportunities for his career. However, since there is no change in Nancy's overall behavior, the staff will most likely be dissatisfied within the department. Values to consider for Solution 3. The principle of fidelity is upheld in the solution as Juan will be continuing in his position while acting faithfully towards Nancy in his position. The principle of autonomy for both Nancy and Juan are both upheld, although Nancy's poor leadership skills may interfere with Juan's autonomy. Nancy's right to know has been violated as she is again unaware of the grievances against her. The staff members may feel that the principle of fidelity has been violated as the situation has not changed, although they have reported their dissatisfaction to Juan. Evaluate. In looking at the evaluation, we want to look at the 3 questions posed by Blanchard and Peel. Is it legal? Is it balanced? And how will I feel? If Juan reports decides to report Nancy's poor leadership to the senior director, it is likely that the senior director will not make any changes. Because we have the right to due process, there is a complete process to following up on all of these reports, and often it takes a lot of reports before something can be done due to our contracts and the due process. If the director does not act on the report, Nancy is sure if the senior director does act on the report, Nancy will react negatively to her staff, which will make the situation deteriorate even more. In addition, Juan may be seen in that negative light because because he's a brand new manager and he's already reported his supervisor, so this may not be very good for his career. If he quits, which he can do as an autonomous individual, this will leave his staff open to Nancy's destructive leadership methods. His staff will be further demoralized and may also attempt to leave the department. The biggest issue with this solution is that he will be leaving a job that he loves for a different job that he does not know, and so he may be losing something that he really enjoys. And then if Juan accepts the situation, it may appear to the staff that he does not care or is not capable of improving the situation. However, his attitude of acceptance may result in his staff also adopting that same attitude. Juan could take this opportunity to grow within a difficult situation, which will build his leadership skills. Accepting the situation will preserve the principle of fidelity as he works in his position with faithfulness. The main difficulty in this solution is that he and the staff will have to continue under Nancy's poor leadership methods. The decision is stated. Juan is going to, or the ethical decision should be to accept and grow within that. And when we look at that, we're looking at two verses in the New Testament, Philippians 2:14 and 15, to do everything without complaining or arguing, so that you may become blameless and pure, children of God without fault in a crooked and depraved generation, in which you shine like stars in the universe. And this is his chance to shine and to show God's light to the people around them, to the people around him, and to be that strong example. In Matthew 5:16, in the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. And this is his chance to not only grow, but to be that beacon that people can look to and grow in God. Defending the decision. For me, as I look through this ethical decision, it really comes down to one of my most favorite verses that I cling to at difficult times in my work, but in everything that I try to do. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for the men. So whether I'm working at work with a easy or difficult boss, or easy or difficult people underneath my leadership, I'm working really for the Lord. I'm not working for the men that I see and the women that I see. I'm working for the Lord. And everything I do should reflect that. And when it gets hard, I remember that my true boss is the Lord. And that is what makes this a much easier decision, although working it out sometimes is difficult, staying in a difficult situation. But in this case, it happens to be the most ethical, according to the resolved method of looking at ethical dilemmas on the job. Thank you.